promise to answer anything that you ask. Some of you are just sick. Well, go ahead. I think it makes it a lot more fun just to let you guys ask anything. So let's just start it off and see how it goes.
I did prep them, James.
Oh, you did?
A little bit.
Okay.
I might have told them a little something about threesomes. I'm just saying. Just a little.
Okay.
Nothing too exciting.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, we got that?
Uh-oh.
No.
The set.
Shout with good diction. There we go.
Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you come up here and use my mic?
There we go.
Turn your new role in The Witches of the East End. And I'd like to ask what you can tell us about the role, if anything.
You know, I'm surprised that you just said that, and I wish that you hadn't just said that, because it's supposed to be a secret. How did you, that's the first thing, how did you know?
I didn't leak it. That's all I can say.
No, yeah, I was hoping that wouldn't happen. You're very naughty! Oh, my lady, I love you. I love you. I'm not going to tell you anything about that. Ha-ha! See, it's supposed to be like storytelling, where it's like surprising, and all I can really say, frankly, is that it's a really good role. He is powerful, he is charming, he is devious, and if I get enough sleep, he'll be sexy. More than that, I think, frankly, you know, it's better to not know, so that when you see that first shot, there are question marks, just like there would be for a normal audience member. So I think actually nice people, good to work with, and I'm looking forward to it very much. I can't believe you spilled it.
Naughty, naughty girl. Hey, before the next question, I have to read a script, which I just got a little email telling me to read. Hey fans, remember to download the Frankly Chat app on your iPhone or Android. We'll be grabbing questions from Frankly to ask James Marsters on stage. We will. Add the pin WizardCon on Frankly Chat to submit your questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
I have no idea.
I'm so old world. Like, I didn't go to college. I had an apprenticeship. You know? I got a computer like
I did
10 years
too.
ago. I don't, you know, by the way, really quick, guys. Because I am flying out to start filming this project early, so we have gotten a room here at the convention tonight at 8:45 in room 108.
Awesome.
Check that room number. I hope that's the right one. I know that it's at 8:45. The band will be answering your questions. You'll get to meet us, and we'll also we're going to bring some guitars and play some live music. It's not, we don't have a kit, we don't have, you know, it's not, we have no backline, no amps. It's just going to be very, very casual. It is what we can do to make up for the fact that on Saturday that I can't come to. So he is going to be singing my songs, and I think that people are going to come back saying, you know, James, you can stay home, actually. Sullivan is 18 and gorgeous, and his voice is young and good, and I'm not sure you're going to need me after this European tour. Oh, thank you.
Everybody wants you, James. Yes, come on up.
Apparently.
Hello.
Hello.
Have there been any roles that you turned down that you are kicking yourself because you didn't take them?
There are lots of roles that I have, you know, it's not turning down roles, it's not wanting to come meet the people, like Dexter. They wanted to meet me for Dexter, and I didn't want to go film, my children were young at the time, and if I would have left, I would have been on a really good TV show, and I would have kids that didn't know me. So, I mean, I read a book by the Dalai Lama years ago, and in it he said that this is going to seem depressing, but it's actually not. that all of our lives, we are preparing for the moment of death. In that you're trying to make decisions throughout your life that when you reflect upon those when you're dying and your life is flashing before your eyes, you're like, yeah, man, that's a good decision. I'm glad I did that. And so when I read that book, it's a short book, thank God, and I was thinking, you know, I was in the middle of Buffy at the time, and I was like, you know, if I am on my deathbed thinking about a TV show, I'm probably not going to have the perfect death. Be okay. But if I'm thinking about my kids and the fact that they are doing well and that they have a family and they're happy and maybe I'm a grandfather by that point, if that's what I'm thinking about, I'm going to have a great death. So it really, over the years, it's been about protecting that and then fitting that around into my career. So there have been a lot of things that I've said, no, I don't want to meet with them, I don't want to audition for that. I don't know if I would have gotten Dexter, but I passed it the chance. Yeah.
Awesome question, awesome answer. No? Hey, come up here, Jean.
Jean, you look fabulous.
You took the question I was going to ask you to tell me about your music.
Oh.
But
Check 1, 2.
looking forward to that a lot. The LA Theater Works that you did this past weekend was incredible, so thank you for that. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Your Sir Henry Baskerville was delightful.
Thank you. We did just so people know, LA Theater Works is a group that we rehearse for 3 days, then we perform for 4 days, and we record it. It's just for radio though. So it's going to be broadcast on NPR. I've done a lot of these, and you can listen to me on the radio doing plays. And it's actually a very, very popular program. They get really good actors and really top-notch directors to work on these. They don't pay much, but because they only need us for 7 days, they get like the coolest big stars and stuff to come and do it. And we did a Sherlock Holmes play, and it was funny, and everybody that came to it actually said that it didn't suck, so it was really
It's a very good program.
because sometimes plays are horrible. That's why I like theaters, because it's kind of like the Indiana 500. Sometimes we crash, you know. Sometimes it's just painful, but that one was really good. Yeah.
That was fun. My question would be, you're just versatile, incredibly versatile when it comes to characters. Is there a particular character that you would feel would be so incredibly challenging? You talked about being super afraid, that fear kind of motivating you. Is there a character that you can think of, not an actual character maybe, but a description of one, that would just totally terrify you, but you'd really feel challenged by it and would want to try it?
That's a great question.
Gene, I'm terrified every time. You know, I was terrified for Hounds of Baskerville. Because, okay, this is what happened at Hounds of Baskerville. First day, I'm playing Henry Baskerville, who in the script he's a Canadian. This is back in the Victorian time, you know, because Sherlock Holmes was alive. So I play this Canadian who gets called back home because his whatever died. Someone in his family died and left him the estate of the Baskervilles in England. And so he comes back and he's Canadian. And I'm like, so are we gonna be like, you know, okay, let's be Canadian now. It's a comedy. Relax, all right? It's a comedy. Everyone's a stereotype in the comedy. So the director's like, no, we're not gonna do that. He's a cowboy, and besides, this is Victorian, if not Edwardian England. So I did research, and basically, if you do a cowboy accent. So I'm like, I'm Hank Baskerville. All right, come on out here. And I did more and more cowboy the whole time. The problem with talking like this is, we Americans, when we're talking like this, we're kind of slower than most people. Like if you want to really sound like someone that comes from that time, you don't want to be going too fast. You want to say what you mean, you want to get in and out, but you're not going to be going on and on. But the rest of the cast is just in English, and I realized very quickly that I'm going to have to keep up with a certain pace if this comedy is going to work, because if it hits a skid mark every time I open my mouth, the audience is just going to go. please don't have him talk. So, it doesn't lend itself to speed. It's not designed for speed. And my mouth was getting tripped up for the first 3 performances that I was the weak link in the show. And I'm not used to that. I'm used to being the strong link. And so, and then finally, for the very last performance, the night that my agent was in the audience, the director said, James, let's just throw out everything we did and just give it almost no accent at all. Really light cowboy accent, and we tried that way. And I'm like, why didn't we rehearse that? Okay, I'll just jump off the cliff. And then it worked, and I could go fast, and it was all good. But I was terrified. Yeah, that's why, and like you said, that's why I like acting, is because I don't want to be comfortable. I actually have recognized that if you're out of your comfort zone, it's not comfortable, but it's usually the beginning of something good, you know? Or that's how I feel.
I love it.
I'm never in my comfort zone. Where was that, you know? Wow. No, I don't. My comfort zone is video games.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hi, James.
Hey, babe.
Could you tell us a little bit about your writing music process and maybe sing us your favorite song? It is my favorite.
Right on. I don't really have. I don't do covers. I don't really have a process. Sometimes the chorus comes to me. Sometimes sometimes it comes full on. Sometimes it's just a couple words. In general, though, I feel like a song is born into your mind, fully formed, but it's shrouded in shadow and fog. And so you get a little tiny bit of it, but you have to chase a ghost through the fog and the shadows to find what you already know is true. This is what I was saying. This was designed to be an a cappella song. I'll give you half of it. It's called Alone. It's a cowboy song that I wrote in Romania. What is he? On the throat. It's a Monty Python joke if anyone gets it. He does anymore. I just woke up. Well, I'm alone in Alabama with my lady by my side. After wars, I left her, and now she's come to watch me die. And she's a flower in the sun, and now she's crawling through the mud. Cause of me, my heart was sick from killing engines with their babies in their beds. I refused, but my general put his gun up to my head. And I wanted to come home, so Abby wouldn't live alone. So I killed and burned them down.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you.
You are an amazing singer. I actually I get a little teary. I couldn't help myself. I'm right next to you. It's powerful. I try to keep it together. It's not easy. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hi, James.
Hey, babe.
Hey. So, I am a huge Supernatural fan, and
Right on.
I about partied for about an entire week after I heard you were on the episode. A week. I'm not even joking. So, my question is, what was your favorite memories from working with Jen Snackles and Jared Padalecki? Did they prank you? I know that they're like mischievous on set. It's like their favorite pastime. How do you get anything done on that set with them?
I only shot once. No, I shot a bunch with them. No, I was warned by the crew that they were going to prank me. They said that they'll prank you if they think you're cool enough to stand it. They don't want to get somebody like running away, like, you hurt my feelings, that's it. I'm going to trailer, forget it. So they always like are asking, like, is it cool? Is it going to be cool? Okay. And so they pranked the crowd. They gave me the big one. They gave me the big prank, the big acid test prank, apparently, which was, how many kids in the house today?
Earmuffs.
Yeah. So we're gonna try a PG version of. No, that was PG anyway. You know what? This could be in a PG film. You could do inserts and it'd still be PG. Okay. So I'm filming with them, and they get to my close-up, and they're filming my close-up, and I feel a little juggling happening in between my thighs. And I continue the take, and I just glance down really quickly like that. It doesn't take but a second to glance down. And one of them has taken off his shoes. And the camera is not on their face, so the camera can't tell what they're doing. And I see the foot there, and both of them are going, what you gonna do now, mother? And so I just finished the take. I didn't bat an eye, and I finished the take, and they said cut, and both of them just went, dude! And I was in. Apparently that was enough. Of course I clapped as soon as they had, I was like, oh my God! I got the take, and then they wanted me in the show. And they were like, we gotta have you back, man. I gotta say, they were very, very cool guys. They were very unaffected by their fame. They were still humble and grateful and energetic, and I happen to believe that fame is toxic to the human soul, frankly, and the longer that you're exposed to it is like radiation. You're gonna get the cancer of ego and the cancer of self-pity if you're famous long enough. And those guys have been able to inure themselves to that, and they're just absolutely fabulous. You'd think that they just got famous yesterday. Just really cool guys, yeah.
They seem like really cool guys.
Yeah, they're cute too.
That's always a bonus. Thank you so much for that great question. Terrific answer. So fun.
Hello. I have a question from the Frankly app, and Eric asks, what is appealing about being a villain? I guess you're
Oh man, it's so much better. Well, first of all, the script will build you up just as powerful as the lead. So that the final confrontation, you have to wonder who's going to win. So the script is all designed to make you look cool and powerful and all of that. You just have to lose the final fight, which, that sucks. Because frankly, when you're doing fights, the person that's really has to be good at their job is the person that's losing the fight. The person that's winning the fight, they're just whipping air. That's all they have to do. But if you're losing, you have a bunch of complex gags that you have to go through. And you have to not get hurt for. So being the villain, you have to actually know how to take falls, and you know how to take punches and stuff. And then having played a couple of heroes, I've really decided that I'd like to play villains better, because heroes are always feeling guilty. They're always trying to save everybody, and they're always feeling guilty about some pain that they had, and that they can't save everybody, and they're always running to try to save people. They're always in a hurry because they're trying to help people. And the villain doesn't care. So the villain is just lurking. And you just lurk in the shadows, looking cool, and then the hero runs by and you bam! And then you go home. So it's so much easier, but you get the cool music, and you have your minions doing stuff, and it's delicious. I love it. And also, I try to be a nice person in real life, because better thing to do. But it's harder to be a nice person and not just give in, like, you know, people cut you off on the freeway. It would be great just to run them down. How many people would like to? We all would, you know? So, but we control ourselves because we're mature and we're good people, you know? So just to not have the responsibility to be mature and just let it out is a good release, you know, especially because no one gets hurt and, you know.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey, you.
So on Buffy, you played like a bunch of different versions of Spike, like Evil Spike, and then you were pining after Buffy, and then on Angel, you were kind of the comic relief. So which version of Spike did you prefer playing?
I would say evil Spike in the beginning of Buffy, and then jerk Spike for Angel. I like to mess with the lead. I'm a reformed punk rocker, which means I'm not really reformed at all. Which means when I was in high school, like we would like, football was the thing in high school, right? So we punk rockers, like we would have parties where we had a rock band, so that we were popular too. So we'd have big parties, everyone would come and we would talk really pretty girl into hitting on the star football player all night, and then dump him flat, right as everybody else had hooked up and everybody else was going to get something for himself. And so that he would go home lonely and defeated the night before the game. Just so my high school would lose. Yeah. So, what was the question? Oh yeah. So I like to mess with the lead. So there's something about, if Joss Whedon is the same way. If there is the big guy, oh so cool guy, you just want to rip that down somehow. There's just an instinct to rip that down. So whenever I'm on set and I get to play a character, because in Hollywood, if the lead is a nice person or not a nice person, no matter what, you have to be nice to that person. They're the lead, so, ooh, have my seat. Would you like my water, sir? It's just ridiculous. So, even if the lead is really wonderful, like John Barrowman is absolutely fabulous. No supernatural, just wonderful. I've worked with so many wonderful leads, but there's that thing in me that when they call action and I can just mess with you, it's delicious. So yeah, those two are the versions of the character. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. What great questions and answers. I'm loving it. Hello, sir.
Hi, for starters, I'm Josh. I just want to let you know, James, you are even cooler in person than you are on set.
But thank you, man.
I guess I really wanted to challenge you here. You said that you really wanted a question that could possibly make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was thinking real hard about how to word this, so it's probably not going to come out right. But in season 6 of Buffy, in episode 8 or 9, I think it's called Smashed.
Yeah.
All right, when you first had sex with Buffy, on set at least, on set. I just want to know, because you know, Sarah's hot, I'm curious how you felt then, when that was going on.
I think he's asking if you had a Woody.
Okay, this is Smash. This is not an invisible Buffy. This is actually Buffy and I actually. Oh, that!
First time on set.
That's a really good story, you know. This is exactly the opposite of what you want to hear. That day, Jeff, who was the head of stunts for the show, he was doubling me. And there was a gag that nobody thought was going to be a big deal that turned into one. The gag where Spike jumps up on the chandelier and face plants Buffy, they designed this massively heavy chandelier so that when Jeff jumped on it, it wouldn't move much and it would be a stable platform that could be, you know, so enormously heavy that you could hang it by a chain, but it still would have, it would be hard to move, you know. So he would stay in shot and could do the gag. So it was concentric rings of heavy metal down to a point. And when Jeff did this stunt, he looked like an insane man was back at work. We didn't, you know, I mean, you don't have to show a stuntman's face anyway. He's beautiful, by the way, and he is today. We have great surgeons in Hollywood. But that day, I mean, I have to say, Sarah and I were shooting shooting that scene, but in everyone's mind was, is Jeff alive or dead? We can't wait to go to the hospital and find out. So, acting! But there's an extra heat behind that, you know? There's a danger and a heat and a passion behind that, but we were all pretty freaked out. Yeah, so.
Thank you.
Didn't get me. Try again.
That was a great question, though.
Yeah, good question.
This is short. Hey, James.
man.
I love the Dresden Files. And you do a phenomenal job. It's the first audiobook I ever liked. And your Michael is by far my favorite voice you do.
It's one of the hardest ones.
What is your favorite voice or favorite story from the Dresden Files?
That and Bob. But he's also, you know, he gets the lead of, you know, makes the lead really, really sad, so I love that.
But you're also the lead.
Yeah.
And real quick, can you give us a spell? Bullseye! Thank you.
How you doing down there? We got a podium, like, you all seeing anything?
Very weird.
Hey, I'll try to, like, hello. Hey, man.
Hey, so big fan of your work on Torchwood. Chemistry between you and John Barrowman was excellent. How much of that was off-screen as well, or was it?
First of all, we offended all the right people with Torchwood, man. I remember I was doing an interview with the BBC and they said, "So, what do you think about the homophobic backlash against Torchwood?" And I'm a punk rocker. I was like, "We have a backlash?" I'm jumping around the set. I stopped the interview. I'm like, "I'll be right back." And I was jumping around the set and I blew a take and John's like, "Man, we know we have a backlash, but we also have a TV show. Sit down." So, yeah, man. It's weird, man. John has a very different memory of that. Like, this is my memory is that, first of all, I bit him on the first take. Okay, he thinks that I was uncomfortable kissing a guy. Because in between every take, I would run over to my fiancée and kiss her. Right? And he thought I was having to reestablish my heterosexual credentials. No. What was going on was that my fiancée was getting excited to watch Johnny and I kiss. And I learned that this is one of the things you learn in Hollywood. Girls like the guy on Guy Stuff. I didn't know until we shot this. I had no clue about it. So I was getting my sugar, man. Like, as a straight guy, when the woman isn't always given the sugar. So when she's feeling like giving the sugar, you go get that sugar. When the candy store is open, you go to the store. You know? So. With John, I'm like, with you guys, I don't know. I mean, maybe the store is always open 24/7. I don't know what that is. But the sugar was there, so that's what was going on. So yeah, frankly, my fiancée was pretty much directing the kiss. She was sitting right off camera, and she was like, "That was really good. Do it again." You're welcome.
Thank you. That was a great question and great answer. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I actually have a simple request. My friend's birthday was a couple days ago, and I got her a pretty bad present. So, is it okay if you say "Happy Birthday, Holly" in Spike's voice?
Sure.
Wait, you know it?
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Haley.
Haley?
Yeah.
Holly and Haley.
Yeah.
Take 3. Are you ready?
Wait, I can't.
Just nod your head and I'll know it's action.
Go.
from Buffy the Vampire Slayer saying, "Happy birthday." The reason I'm doing this for you is because your friend Haley got you a pretty crap present. I'm sorry. But next time once you come, I'll give you some sugar.
I love that.
This is so weird, guys. I have to say, as a human being, be on this side of the mic, like if you talk about yourself in real life too long, people will check out. They're like, oh God, what a bore that guy is. There's nothing but talk about himself. And I'm up here for half an hour talking about myself, and everyone's like, yeah! I go back home and to my family, I'm like, do you know who I am? Take out the trash, Dad.
Oh, this is our Frankly guy.
Yep, I have another question from someone. Here. Me Missy asks, was it hard learning a British accent?
Well, yes. I felt I had a good English accent going in because I watched a lot of Monty Python. But you know, the truth is that they cast me about 3 days before they wanted to film me, so it wasn't perfect. I got on set and I said, "You were there," which is not right at all. You know, it's very bad. So Tony Head, who's actually English in real life, he held his tongue for a long time. He didn't really tell me anything about it. But then I said bullocks, which is not the way you say the word. It's supposed to be bollocks, you know. And that was the last straw for Tony. He came up to me and said, "We don't say it like that, you brat. You've got to get this right. I've got to hold my head up when I go back home, so I'm going to help you from now on. And come to my trailer. I'm doing Tony Head right now. This is Tony Head. Spike's a bit different. But, so Tony would come to Tony's trailer, and he would school me word to word until I got it myself. So that's the story behind the accent.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, Tony.
Hi. So I'm a film production major, and I was wondering, as an actor, what you look for in a director that you're working with, the relationship that you have with them.
Ooh, good question. This is something that I learned from directing stage, which is I learned when I first started directing. I talked too much, and I find that my favorite directors are able to give a note quickly, because if they talk too much, as an actor, I get up in my head too much, and I get too emotional, and I start living up here as opposed to living here or here or here or wherever the character is living at that point. I don't want to get too intellectual as an actor. I want to just go and be instinctual. And the best directors are able to give notes with just a few words. And you know, just remember your mother, or whatever the thing is. I want you to do this one. I want you to feel something inside yourself. Go. Just real, you know, like notes that get right into my heart, but don't get me right up into my head. And then confidence, you know, because as a director, the whole world is falling apart all around you constantly. And to never let your actors see that is happening, and to always have them feeling like they're in good hands, and that they're not going to look ugly, which is what we're all afraid of. And then no matter what, so that the director is stepping between the chaos, which is production, and the world of the actor, which is a very vulnerable one, and that you're the buffer. Yeah, that's what. Thank you. Yeah.
Great question. Great answer. Wow, I like your hair.
Yeah, you have awesome hair.
Thank you. Wow, I wonder what it was inspired by. And side note about that, I imagine you almost died of heat stroke like every day on set, because this coat is so hot.
You know what? Okay, this is the thing about the coat.
That's not my question, not too much.
I'm not a fairy.
Just making sure.
Yeah, the coat, for me, in the summer, it was so just sweating constantly, and of course vampires don't sweat, so that's a problem. I remember they just gave up. They're like, well, he sweats when he fights, forget it. I would sweat like crazy, because that is a hot box. But in the wintertime, of course, it gives no protection at all. There's no insulation, so you can freeze. And the other characters, if we're shooting in cold weather, they would have a coat for their character. They're a human being, but they're always like, "Oh, you have a coat." I'm like, "Oh, really?" By the way, I only got one coat the entire time on Buffy. They never replaced it.
Even after it exploded on Angel?
Well, no, they sold it on Buffy, so they had to rebuild it for Angel. And then they blew it up and they rebuilt it again. But I remember it got so covered in soot and muck and blood and dirt and over the years that in the beginning I would give my coat to Sarah when she got cold and she thought, oh, what a gentleman, and it was really kind of a nice gesture that I could do for her. But by the end of the show she'd be like, get away from me. Yeah.
Well, thank you for the code information.
Yeah.
My actual question is, so my favorite fight scene in the whole Buffy and Angel all together was that awesome fight scene in season 5 of Angel where it was like you and David Boreanaz fighting in the opera house.
Yeah.
It was awesome, first of all.
Oh my God, yeah. I've been waiting for that scene.
So were we all. But I was watching in the DVD commentary, it was talking about how, originally Joss was thinking the Angel would win the fight, and then he was like, no, Spike wins the fight, rewrite it. So what I was wondering is, how did you, and maybe also David, if you know, how did you guys feel about that when you got that script and you find out Spike wins the big knockdown, drag out Angel brawl?
Okay, we're used to Joss. Joss basically goes, if you take a good writer or a very good writer and you take what that writer would do, Joss will do exactly the opposite of that thing and make it work twice as well. That's kind of the secret of Joss Whedon. In fact, we would always be on set and I would always know where he was going. No one else could tell, like, where's Joss going, what's he going to do next? I'd be like, oh, he's obviously doing this. And Joss came to me, he's like, how do you know? That's what you do, Joss. You do exactly the opposite of the good decision. So you would expect Angel to win, it's his show, but...
I'm so glad he didn't.
What?
I'm so glad he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's more interesting to not get what you expected. So, we were both comfortable with that. We're just like, by that time, after years of working with Joss, it's just like, look, I don't understand what you're doing, but it's going to be great, so whatever you want. My memory of that was just basically two things. One, I was jealous of David Boreanaz from the get-go, because my girlfriend at the time was jealous of me and Juliet Landau. And so she decided to get back at me by telling me that she had a crush on David Boreanaz. So consequently, I hated David Boreanaz because I'm a jealous boy. So it took me years to realize that David had been nice to me from day one, supportive of me from day one, because he started out just like I did as a side character who was just going to be used a little bit and then going to be killed off, and then it grew. And I remember he told me right from the very beginning, dude, I can see it, it's going to happen for you too, you're going to be on this show forever, blah, blah, blah. David was great to me. And I never let him know, but inside I was roiling. And there was a part of me that really enjoyed that fight, finally. But I have to say, my main memory of it was that David was injured because he did a lot of those stunts himself. He was very majorly injured for that scene, and he would not give up on it. He didn't ask to get out of any shots. He didn't dump off the shots to the stunt crew and then therefore force the cinematographer to change the shot, to accommodate the stuntman. He did the whole deal, even though so many people I know wouldn't have. And so I respect him deeply for that. Yeah. David's a stand-up guy.
Thank you.
Love it. And he's here this weekend too.
What?
So is Eliza. You should come on stage with us. Hey, I have to tell you all something, and I'm very sad to say it. You know what I'm going to say. 5 minutes remaining. So we have time for one question. I'm really sorry. I know. I'm super sorry.
Oh God, lightning round, quick.
Are you familiar with TV tropes? They name all the cliches that you see in movies and...
Name all the cliches in movies?
It's a Wikipedia. Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Okay. They name, it's now called Badass Decay. The page used to be Spikeification, when a complete badass turned into, instead of a badass, now it's just kind of a jerk. What are your feelings about this?
I don't know, man. I don't think that Joss blazed any trails with that. I think Han Solo's the same way. You know, Han shot first. I'm sorry. And the thing about the first Star Wars is we think Han's like, you guys have your rebellion. Forget it. I'm taking my gold. I'm paying back Boba Fett. I'm gonna live a nice life. Have fun doing good in the world. And then he comes back at the end. Get him, kid, or whatever he says. So there's that, you know, the reformed selfish person, the reformed bad guy, the lovable rogue. That's been around for a long time. I think the reason that Spike was so effective was that he was not designed to be a lovable rogue. He really was a disposable villain, and they went so far in that, so evil. That when they had to redeem him, they really had to use all their creativity to pull him back. And so that ride is the hills and valleys of Spike's redemption are just very deep and very high because of that. That's all I have.
Awesome.
Let me ride.
2 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Earbuds.
Seriously. Okay.
Okay, so my question is, I was wondering if you did any pranks on the big stars on Buffy.
I didn't do any pranks. We didn't do pranks because we were known as Buffy the Weekend Slayer. We went 12 to 20 hours a day, which is much longer than other television shows. Most shows will stop at 12 hours, but we never did. We always busted past 12. We didn't have the energy and we didn't have the time. And I was the most boring of all of the cast members. I would never get in the highlight reel at the end of the show. You know, like at the cast party, they always showed like the highlight reel, all the funny things that people say and the jokes and stuff. And I was never in that reel. And I was like, Josh, don't you like me? Like what? And he's like, well, no, James, I would love to put you in the highlight reel, but you're boring in between. You do the same thing every single time for 7 years now. This is what you do. We say cut, you look down to see if you're on your mark, and then you walk to your chair and you pull out your script and you make sure you got your lines right. That's all you've ever done for 7 years. I love you for it, but as you know, it's not for the highlight reel. Now when I say action, it's like someone released like a bear out of a cage, like wah, you know, and then cut. Oh, done. I save it for the day. Yeah.
Now I have to tell us, it's 3:14. We have like one question remaining. Really, that's it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. One, I'm sorry, guys.
I'm really, really sorry.
Come by my table. We'll talk.
I will.
Seriously.
When's the comic coming out?
I don't know. I got one in the mail, so very soon. It looks awesome. But yeah, I wrote a comic with our July, sir.
July.
Yes, I wrote a story where Spike is just getting used to having a soul, and he can't figure out how to feed himself or clothe himself or have a place to live because he can't kill anybody for those things yet. So he's homeless and trying to figure stuff out.
Now, James, where will you be next? Will you be at your table? Photo op?
All of these complex questions.
Sorry. She just said photo op. I'm going to go with
Is
what
it
she
photo
said.
op? You guys know better than me.
Take it better.
What?
4:40 photo op with James.
Then I'll be at my table.
James, you are one of my favorites. Thank you so much.